Today, we're joined by SJSU Online student and ambassador Jaime Abonce, who's going to discuss how his mindset as a lifelong learner is benefiting him in SJSU Online and beyond. So, Jaime, really looking forward to today's conversation. I was wondering, just as a starting point, and if we could focus on kind of what that's looked like for you academically. I know now you're enrolled in our info science and data analytics program, but originally you had studied engineering and you planned to go into prosthetics. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. So originally, I was doing the more orthodox college route. I was on campus. I was taking in-person classes. I had a dorm right around the corner from the mess hall. So I was doing the whole like traditional sort of like college step. But so originally, I wanted to work with prosthetics, so I took bioengineering. However, after taking some classes, I began to feel that it just wasn't something I wanted to continue pursuing. It wasn't like a single defining moment that convinced me of this. It was more like kind of just like this lingering gut feeling of like, I don't know if I'm enjoying this anymore, if this is the path I want to keep pushing myself through, and I don't know who I'm going to be by the end of it. Am I going to feel like this was rewarding enough to like continue pursuing this? Looking back on it now, it's I'm still passionate about prosthetics. It's still like a personal interest to me. But looking back on it now, I remember feeling as though like it was like a failure on my end, changing like this course, like taking like a different route on my educational journey. But that was just me thinking about it back then. Like now I see it more as like I think I made the right decision of like I want to try something else. I want to be better at something else that I want to pursue. And because of that, I was able to like more align myself with like something I want to pursue and pursue like my own self improvement. So it's back then I kind of saw it like a bit as a failure on myself for like changing course like that. But now I see it's just like another step that got me to the point I am now, like as a person. I feel more better prepared re-entering college as well.
Wow, that's an amazing backstory. Thank you so much for just helping us better understand your journey and how you've gotten to this point so far, at least from an academic standpoint. And I really like the way that you frame that. I think as you're going through it, like you said, it can be really easy for us to really zoom in on that exact moment or that exact time period in our lives and really think like, oh, this is a failure. How did I get to this point? What do I do now? Right. But just the fact that you were able to really reflect upon that and like zoom out and think about things in the bigger picture of like, what did you gain from that experience and how is that helping you kind of re-envision or, kind of can come up with the next iteration of like what, things are going to look like for you as you continue to move forward. And you used a couple of those words as you were describing your experience too, just thinking about how rewarding and something might be and how passionate you are about it. And I think as you're thinking about what you're studying academically and what you're going to do professionally, like make a career out of, those are definitely things that you'd probably want to consider, right, as pieces of the overall experience. So just really great to hear that, even though you kind of had to go through that experience to get to this point, that you were able to really think about how you can make the most out of that opportunity and use it to continue to propel yourself as you go forward. And then from there, I was wondering if we can kind of look at what that experience has looked like for you outside of the classroom in terms of having this lifelong learning mindset. I know you've completed some volunteering and community service through a couple of organizations, so like SJSU College Corps, and then you've also worked in retail and customer service. So can you describe how those experiences have benefited you as well?
Of course, yeah. So I'll start with the retail just because that was the first one of the two. So one of my first jobs during college was working in retail, and there's this nasty stigma that like working retail or working like a similar job like fast food, for example, is sort of like a dead end when it comes to a career. It's sort of it's stigmatized against. It's like a negative thing to assume that like, oh, they're working in a retail store. This isn't like gonna help them at all. But I think it's a very negative thing, and it's not something that's accurate because I personally think that my time working in retail has benefited me in the long term because when I entered retail, I was a very timid kid. I was not that confident in myself. I felt like I kind of just had to like shy myself away whenever like discussions were happening. But during my time in retail, I've interacted with so many people in different like just different personalities, different perspectives of just lives in general. And I've gotten like more confident in like how I present myself and how to talk to people because I was forced kind of to interact with so many different kinds of people that I just like sort of developed like more confidence in myself and how I present this and how I present like myself in front of people. So the kid that went into retail is not the same person that came out when I finally decided to move away from retail. And that also like helped me along when I was in college course. So just a quick little breakdown of that. College course is uh, like community outreach. We go and we help. In San Jose, for example, we're teaching children how to program, working with some of the brightest minds in San Jose, and we're teaching them programming. So like a little bit more of like a backstory to myself is I have a degree in computer programming, but ever since I got the degree, I was always a bit self-conscious of it. Just like, am I good enough to like of a programmer that I can present myself as like, yes, I am a programmer, even though I have the course material and everything. So I kind of use this as an opportunity to prove to myself that like I am a good programmer. I can teach kids how to program, and I'm able to like better like showcase myself to like, yes, I'm a good programmer. I've helped this child understand what a variable is, and it's both both of these opportunities that I've had, the retail and the college course, have built up like who I am now. I've gained confidence from retail. I've gained even further confidence in like myself as in like a career kind of perspective as a programmer that through the college course that like has helped me on this journey like beyond just educational like both of these have a little bit to do with education, but just outside of education itself, both of these experiences have helped me develop better as a person.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for talking about a little bit of your backstory in terms of what your involvement and experiences have been outside of the classroom and kind of how you've continued to learn and grow through those as well. Yeah, as you were talking about them, you kind of had this common through line, right? Of like going into these things, maybe having a level of like uncertainty or doubt, in terms of like maybe what your skills are or your abilities, but really, like you said, gaining a lot of confidence and developing a lot of skills as you went through them because of the experiences that you had, but then also the feedback that you were getting, right? As you think about working in customer service and you're interacting with people from all walks of life, and then working in college core and working with children, you're just continuously getting those feedback loops, from the different people that you're collaborating with and you're communicating with. And it sounds like it's just really benefited you in the long run, where you've developed all these skills that, of course, you're going to be able to use academically, but those are going to extend well beyond academically in terms of like your communication skills, your presentation skills, your persuasiveness, all those sorts of things, your confidence. And all those things are just so critical just to your overall mindset as you continue to look forward. And I think that kind of brings us now into the present and thinking about how, now you're enrolled in the SJSU Online Info Science and Data Analytics program. And I was wondering if you can first talk about maybe how you've integrated some of these things that you just talked about academically and beyond the classroom into this program that you're in now. And then how is the experience in the program benefiting you as you look ahead beyond when you've graduated and as you're kind of continuing to move forward after you've completed your degree?
Gladly. So taking the experience like I had originally going through the whole like academic system and doing the bioengineering route, I was able to like learn how to like it's the minute things, it's the small things when like you're first in college. It's the how do I write an email? How do I present myself in front of the like academically like professional people? How do I like turn in assignments? What's the best way of doing work? And it was a learning experience when I first did the college thing. And now that I'm going through SJSU Online, I feel even better, like better prepared for this because I learned all these things. I know how to properly structure the email so that way it doesn't like I present myself professionally when I'm talking to my professors, when I'm talking to my fellow classmates. I'm not afraid to give my opinion like on group projects, and I'm not afraid to like present my ideas out there when I know they're good. And it's that experience that I gained from the my original route going through bioengineering, and then taking a little bit of that as well. I'm still passionate about prosthetics. I'm still very like into that kind of industry. So I want to still be able to like take bits and pieces of what I've learned originally from prosthetics and use that into like what I'm studying right now with information system and data analysis. I know there's data out there that needs to be analyzed when it comes to prosthetics because it is a market that needs to be like better developed. And I feel like coming a little bit from both worlds here, with that and the prosthetics, I feel better equipped to be able to like kind of handle that material. And then with the retail and the college corps, I've gained like the confidence and reassurance in myself that I can do this. This is because programming was something that like I wanted to be able to prove to myself that I can do. And the best way to do that was being able to explain something that's complex as programming in simple terms, which I feel like I've done when it came to teaching students. And now that I feel more confident in myself in that, I feel that I am better able to present my own work when it comes to programming and better analyze the data I get back from the programs I write. And just it's these little bits and pieces that you build up from your life experiences that you don't really think about until you're finally like in the position to like really look back at different things in your life that originally you probably think that like, oh, this was a failure because I didn't finish this, or this didn't lead to where I wanted to go. No, it's still like bits of you. This you don't lose all of that you've gained just by changing or like going a different direction. It's still bits of you and it's still pieces of you that you can use still to like build this new version of yourself. And that's just the kind of mentality like I go with when as I'm going through this degree, that everything that I've done up to this point has led me to this point. Like every step I've taken has just helped me try to become a better person than I was the day before. And I fully believe that like everything that I've done has really like benefited me in some degree, even if it was like a small failure or a big failure in my eyes back then. It has helped me become who I am now.
That's amazing. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. Yeah, I mean, it really just sounded like the way that you're viewing things is, these past experiences that you've had have really helped establish this foundation for you. And like you said, just starting with the small things and then kind of building up from there. And now you're at a point where you're able to take those past experiences with what you're experiencing in the info science and data analytics program, where you're really diving deep into particular like knowledge base and skill set and really synthesize a lot of these things to really think about how they can help you advance your goals, pursue the hopes and dreams that you have had and that you want to continue to pursue, and ultimately, like you said, just help you become the person that you are today. Like you are the reflection of all these experiences that you've had, and because of your mindset that you have had towards them, it's really helping you really make the most out of all those opportunities. And I think with that mindset, you're going to be unstoppable as long as you just continue to have that outlook on things. You're going to make the most out of every opportunity that's presented in front of you. So just want to say thank you, Jaime, for taking the time to chat with me today and for sharing your insights about your experiences and about the value of SJSU Online. And thank you to our viewers for watching. As always, please comment with any questions you have or anything you want to learn more about. You can visit our SJSU Online website to learn more about our programs and get in contact with our enrollment counseling team. And we will catch you in the next live stream. Thanks, y'all.